Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain why the Somatic Safety Method digital course could be the missing piece in healing your chronic pain and symptoms. Now, as we go throughout this video, I'm going to be going back and forth between showing you some slides and talking about them to really outline how this course can help you heal. To begin, let's talk about how we think pain and symptoms usually work. We understand, first, the body becomes damaged or is in danger in some way, and then the body sends signals to the brain, letting it know damage has occurred, some disease is taking place. The brain then receives these messages and interprets them. Oh no, something's wrong. I'll produce pain or symptoms to prevent further damage. So the brain is producing symptoms because the body's letting it know that it's damaged or diseased in some way. The reality, though, is that most chronic pain or symptoms do not actually function in this way. See, it's up to the brain. The brain is responsible for generating all pain and symptoms. And when the brain receives signals from the body, it combines this information with a bunch of other information that already exists in the brain. So this means that emotions, nervous system state, the belief about the health of your body, the belief about if activities are safe, greatly influence if pain or symptoms are going to be produced. And so often chronic pain and chronic symptoms isn't an accurate measure of tissue health. To explain this further, I'm going to go through a study that we call the fake machine study. Now, in this study, the purpose was to determine if the belief of physical damage could actually create pain. So what they did is they took participants and they hooked them up to this machine. They put electrodes all over their head and they told participants that an electrical current would go through their heads, causing a temporary headache. In reality, though, just to be clear, the machine was fake. It didn't actually do anything. But the results showed that 50% of participants experienced head pain, even though no damage had taken place. So the takeaway here is that emotional danger and a belief of injury can actually cause the brain to generate symptoms. See, most chronic pain and chronic symptoms are actually neuroplastic, which our course is specialized in treating. So with neuroplastic pain or symptoms, what occurs is the pain or physical symptoms are being triggered or amplified by brain and nervous system processes and are not the result of structural damage or disease in the body. Put simply, the pain and symptoms are felt even though the body is structurally healthy or is healed from an injury. And neuroplastic pain or symptoms can effectively be reduced or eliminated through this treatment. Now, a common initial reaction we get when we first explain neuroplastic pain or symptoms to someone is the response of, well, I've been diagnosed with all these different conditions, so there must be something wrong with my body. But many conditions can be neuroplastic or have a neuroplastic component. Things such as fibromyalgia, chronic neck or back pain, abdominal pain and pelvic pain, IBS and digestive concerns, headaches, complex regional pain syndrome, vestibular concerns and dizziness, tinnitus, chronic fatigue syndrome, POTS, myofascial pain syndrome, chemical sensitivities, and irritable bladder syndrome. So if you're looking at this list, and on there, you see a few conditions that you've been diagnosed with, it's a good sign that your symptoms are either neuroplastic or a portion of them are neuroplastic in nature, which our program is specialized in treating. Now, I want to mention briefly that there's a lot of other terms out there for neuroplastic pain or symptoms. So hopefully this helps reduce your confusion around this. Other terms for neuroplastic pain and symptoms include central sensitization syndrome, somatoform disorder, neural circuit pain or symptoms, TMS, nociplastic pain, psychosomatic illness or pain, somatic symptom disorder, conversion disorder, and psychophysiologic disorder. So at this point in the video, you're probably all wondering what actually triggers and worsens neuroplastic pain and symptoms. Like what keeps it going? So we call this the sensitization cycle. So if you look at this slide, if you imagine you have pain or physical symptoms, and then your response is having negative beliefs, negative behaviors such as avoidance, negative emotions, and nervous system dysregulation, if that's your response to your pain or physical symptoms, your brain then feels more in danger and then produces more pain and symptoms. More pain and symptoms, more negative response, more pain and symptoms. And I've seen people stuck in this sensitization cycle for decades. And the solution is using a brain and nervous system response to change the negative response you've been having to your pain and physical symptoms. And so in our course, what we teach people to do is enter into the somatic safety cycle. So this cycle is actually how you heal neuroplastic pain and symptoms. So in our course, we support people in developing safer beliefs and thoughts about their body and their physical symptoms. We help them develop safer behaviors where they start to actually approach activities or life again. And we also support people in processing emotions and regulating their nervous system. And as you're going through this course and developing this safer response, your pain and symptoms will naturally start to decrease. And then you're going to get motivated, and as your pain and symptoms decrease, you all of a sudden create more safety with your beliefs, behaviors in your nervous system, and then your pain and symptoms reduce even further. And using the somatic safety cycle, you can eliminate your chronic pain and symptoms over time. So how do you actually heal? The good news is neuroplastic pain and symptoms can be reduced and in many cases completely eliminated. By increasing your sense of safety, this leads to symptom reduction over time. And so you've probably heard of many programs, research, testimonials that share that this is an easy and speedy recovery. But I want you to know that this is not always the norm. You're a complex human being. And so as a result, healing your chronic pain and chronic symptoms is complex in nature. It takes a complex recovery system, a program to help you do this. So this is why we've created this course. As specialized therapists at Pain Psychotherapy Canada, we came to recognize that healing chronic pain and symptoms can be gradual, bumpy, and complicated. And there's often multiple factors driving your chronic pain or symptoms that are actually generating them and perpetuating them over time. And so we need to identify and treat the cognitive, emotional, behavioral, and trauma and nervous system-based triggers. A more comprehensive approach was really needed. And being part of a healthy and supportive community is often needed to support our healing. The Somatic Safety Method course brings together the most effective, up-to-date, and clinically researched approaches to heal chronic pain and symptoms. Guiding approaches include pain reprocessing therapy, emotional awareness and expression therapy, polyvagal theory, somatic experiencing, mindfulness, and qigong. As I've said, healing can be complex. And so we utilize a 5-factor model in our digital course to support people in healing. These 5 factors include changing thoughts and beliefs, brain retraining and graded exposure, processing emotions, healing trauma in the nervous system, and increasing social safety. So after this video, when you enroll in our course, Here's what you can expect. There's 10 comprehensive modules that have over 10 hours of educational videos to support your healing. There's 30 plus in-depth worksheets that include self-assessment tools, cognitive strategies, and behavioral change plans. There's also over 60 plus audio or video practices. These practices include body-focused practices, emotion-focused practices, trauma recovery tools, and movement and brain retraining tools. In addition, there's also an online community that includes chat threads for the Q&A, sharing advice, and connecting. There's also monthly live Q&A sessions with the creators. Now, your teachers include myself, Tanner Murtagh, my partner, Ann Hampson, and my great colleague, Alex Klassen. Now, we're all therapists at our other agency, Pain Psychotherapy Canada, and we have some of the most experience providing a brain and nervous system approach to healing chronic pain and symptoms within Canada. And so we're really excited to have you join this course. You're going to get to know all of us in a really in-depth way. And at those live Q&A sessions each month, we're all on there supporting your healing. So we really look forward to having you all join us in our digital course, The Somatic Safety Method. Just as your brain has learned to produce chronic pain or symptoms, it can unlearn it. And using the Somatic Safety Method course, it can support you in helping rewire your brain and unlearning your chronic pain or symptoms. I'll see you all soon.